Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are ignited by Athlinks. We are at the Blueprint for Athletes Leadville 100 mountain bike race. Banjo James, thank you, my man. Our next guests, Ken, Chlouber and Merilee Maupin, the founders of the amazing Leadville 100 mountain bike race. And Ken, we're going to hear you a lot better if you use that microphone thing.
Okay,
because
thank you.
So, Ken, there's not many people who in their lives have basically saved a city. And it sounds like both of you had a huge role in making that happen. Because I was reading that back in the 80s, you had, 4,000 people living here, or 4,500, and 33,000 worked in the mines, and the mines went away.
Yeah, there between 4,000 and 5,000 of us here. 3,250 of us worked at the Climax mine.
And you were mining ore? What were you mining?
Molybdenum.
Okay.
Molybdenum, yeah.
I can't spell that, but I know what the hell it is.
You can call it Molly. It'll work
Molly,
for us.
okay,
Yeah,
Molly. Okay.
Molly's fine. Yeah, molybdenum is an alloy used to make quality steel.
Yeah.
Multiple purposes otherwise, as a lubricant, as various other things. But, yeah.
So
yeah.
when the mines went away, basically the town was in the crapper.
Let me back up and just correct one thing for you here, Bob. Now, I didn't save the town. Merilee didn't save the town. The town saved us out. The town.
You came up with an idea.
The grit, guts, and determination of Leadville since the 1860s has been this town. The people that live here, the people that are willing, when things go bad, grab their own bootstraps and pull themselves up. And that's what saved the town.
I love it.
The strength of the people right here. We just took that and transformed that kind of strength, that kind of determination into running 100 miles.
Exactly.
And then to mountain biking 100 miles. And then
stuff happens. But the deal is you needed a hook for the city, right? The city needed something when the mining went away. It's like, if we're going to get tourists here, what are they going to come and do?
Well, let me back up and give you that, because this came as quite a shock. 1982, I went to work as an underground shift boss at that mine. I went to work on swing shift, went in the dry. The dry is a place to change clothes and so forth. Put on my steel-toed boots, my hard hat, the self-rescuer, the lamp belt.
Takes a half hour to put all that stuff on.
Yeah, really. You have to dress to go underground. So, caught the cage, went 600 feet straight down, was going back in that mine, and got a call from the bosses up on the surface, and they said, "Ken, you got to come up. All the shift bosses are coming up for a meeting." Went up, and they said, "Go tell your crews we're closing down the mine and to go home." Well, let me tell you, that had to go back down and say, "Boys, we're out of a job."
Wow.
We just put all this stuff on. We have to go back in the dry, take off these dirty clothes, put them in a plastic sack, go put them in the truck, and then I had to drive home, come that 11 miles down that hill in that pickup. There's one thing on my mind. How am I going to tell Mama and that baby boy, Daddy doesn't have a job? The entire town was out of work. Now, you don't just lose the economy. A lot of other things go with it. You don't just lose a paycheck. You lose who you are. You lose our identity. Because these are men that walk down the street. They're tall timber. They went to work every day and made their living walking through solid rock.
Yes.
So now they're out of a job. What are they going to do? Well, along with that being out of work came all the bad things that go with it. All the alcohol abuse, number one, drug abuse, family abuse. I mean, the guy'd go home and have a fight with his wife. She'd hit the kids kicked the dog, and it just so we had to find a way to bring jobs, bring money back into our community. Quality of life is fantastic here, but the quality of life disappears if you don't have a way to make a living.
Merilee, what do you remember about that time?
I remember just so many friends having to walk away from their homes.
They lost their homes.
Lost their homes because the homes were instantly worth less than mortgages. So many people had to leave. And the people that stayed, that stuck it out, really are a special breed.
So talk a little bit about when you created the first run, because I know there was people thinking you're going to run people up over 10,000, 12,000 feet, and
let me give you one more hammer that dropped here.
Yeah,
Bob. Not only did we lose our jobs, lose our paychecks, but at the same time we lost the mine that was paying 86% of our property taxes. So not only did we lose our paychecks, the tax went right through the roof. So we called, we were searching everywhere. State government, can you do anything? Governor Lamb came down, and he said, you've got to find a way to bring people to your town. You've got like this beautiful place.
Yes.
You've got your history, your heritage. You've got these beautiful mountains. You've got to find a way to bring them to your town. The key to get people to spend money in your town is that they stay overnight. We had all kind of suggestions about little fairs, little 10K race, maybe even a marathon or something. And I thought, well, by God, if they run 100 miles, they're damn sure going to stay overnight. That's the width, depth, and breadth of my intellectual capacity.
I was going to say, you were a bright man.
And my vision.
Harvard, was it? Harvard you went there?
Yeah.
If you run 100 miles, you're not like flying out that night?
Yeah, the best story is I went to the hospital, and I told the hospital director, I said, Mr. Give you his name, but I don't want to embarrass him. I said, we need medical help up here. We're gonna run 100 miles, 10,000 feet. He said, you can't do that. You're going to kill somebody.
Yeah.
I said, well, then we will be famous, won't we?
We'll be famous for killing people.
Yeah. Merilee was the travel agent in town. Well, I'm smart enough to know if nobody's got a job, they're not going to be traveling. So I go to Merilee. I said, look, I need a race director. Can you help me?
Yeah.
I know you're not busy. I said, I can't pay you a thing, and I'll double your salary every year. So, yeah, she got on board.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
So you went to Harvard as well. Nice.
So she got on board in the early days as the race director, and
things went from there.
It's been magic since then.
When I first heard of Leadville was when the Tarahumara Indians came here from Mexico.
Right.
And in their sandals and in their white gowns came here to run this race because they were legendary. Everybody knew about those guys. And they came here in the first year. They lost, right? They ate the wrong food and the whole bit, but then they started dominating here. But that's what I think helped put Leadville back on the map a little bit.
It got us some attention. Of course, what you get as far as is television.
Right.
When television came in, Wide World of Sports, NBC Sports Wars, and started filming it. And of course, they filmed the Tarahumaras and so forth. And that first year, the Tarahumaras, we gave them flashlights because we thought, we've got to have flashlights. And they were running around holding flashlights,
looking straight
up, because that's the way they ran in. They had torches.
Yes.
So that's the way.
They don't need to light the ground. They know where they're going.
Yeah. Well, and then shoes. We had sponsor shoe company. We tried to put them in shoes. Well, that didn't work.
They went to the dump and got got tires.
So the next year
put them on their
after,
sandals.
we kind of got acquainted with what would make them comfortable and do better and do well, and then.
Boom.
And they rode away with it.
Love it. And then you added the mountain bike in the 90s.
94.
Yeah.
1994.
And was the acceptance on that pretty immediate?
It was, but it wasn't my fault. Because let me guarantee you that, because by this time, Merilee and I had grown the race. We had a good business plan. Mm-hmm. We took care of our customers.
Yes.
That was my job, to take care of the customers. Merilee said, no, these aren't our customers. This is our family.
Yes.
Did that ever lock everything in? So the run was successful, growing a little bit every year. We let it grow. And then in 1994, one of our sponsors, the Rockport Shoe Company, said, we want to get into the mountain biking business. Why don't you do a mountain bike race? And we'll do it the same day as the run. I said, no. Thank you. It's not going to work. And so finally, after a lot of negotiations, they said, look, Ken, we're going to spend $500,000 on a television production. We'll do the bike one weekend, one Saturday, Wide World Sports. Next Saturday, we'll do the run. Third Saturday, we'll do a combination show. That was just too huge to turn down for our community. So I said, okay,
Make it happen.
We're gonna saddle up and do a mountain bike race then.
And you have finished the run 14 times.
14 times, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and how many times you done the run?
Probably 25, I'd say. At the starting line, took off from starting line.
You start out, yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes you end up face down, sometimes you end up with a buckle.
Without question, there's some bad things that can happen to you running 100 miles.
What's the worst thing that's happened to you out here?
I guess the worst thing is when you have to sit back and think about it. It's just a compilation of things. But I didn't finish, and I'm gonna tell you. And I tell all these mountain bikers and runners and so forth, the run's 30 hours. The mountain bike race is 12 hours. I tell them, it's going to hurt for 30 hours.
Right.
Or it's going to hurt for 12 hours on the mountain bike race. But if you don't finish, it's going to hurt till you can come back and make amends. It's going to hurt every day. You're going to whine and think, why didn't I do? What could I have done better? Am I tough enough? Can I do this? What's the matter with me that I didn't finish? That's what hurts. You have to dig within yourself. Makes you stronger.
It does make you stronger.
Yeah,
No
does
question
make you stronger. Because then you got to reflect that this is just a run, or this is just a mountain bike race. There are things in life that you're going to have to face that are a hell of a lot tougher than this run or this mountain bike race. So here you learn Leadville tough. You learn here what started this town, to dig deep. You learn here how to dig deep. And then when you face that crisis in life with your family, with your job or something, when it really hurts, when you have to dig deep, and you'll know how. You learned it here in Leadville.
You've got it. You've got that Leadville tough in your background. And Merilee, on race day, where are you?
I sort of start out this race up on the bottom of the St. Kevin climb.
Okay.
Just directing traffic because there's a really nasty little downhill with a hard right at the end.
Yes.
So I start there, but I always end up at the finish line.
And what do you do at the finish line?
Oh, I love the finish line.
She cries.
I cry a lot, but
I don't blame you.
I have been so privileged to be part of the triumphs and joys of the finish line and give and get all those sweaty, smelly hugs. It's been such a privilege over the years, truly.
I love it. Thank you for what you guys have done.
Thank you.
I was fortunate enough to watch the beginning of the Ironman triathlon. It was the same type of thing, where it was John Collins, Judy Collins, Valerie Silk, who wanted to give back, and they wanted people to understand that they can change their life through sport. You guys have changed people's lives for the better through this event.
Contribution, absolutely.
Yeah, and you've helped the city, right? Helped the city come back from the depths.
Yeah.
No question about that. Yeah. Ken and Merilee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Bob.
Oh, love having you guys on.
You
We are at the Blueprint for Athletes Leadville 100, the legends Ken and Merilee, who have created and founded and have built a family here at Leadville. We are ignited by Athlinks and Banjo James. Come on in, baby, and take us out. Stay here. You're going to play for a little bit. Unless you want to dance, Ken. If you're dancing, that's okay.
Do that too.